9 a.m. Let's bring attorney Tom Fisher on. Good morning, Tom.
Good morning, Chris.
So I guess we'll just start. You filed something against the AG yesterday. This is separate from the double pay lawsuit. Can you just tell us what it is you filed and what you hope to accomplish by filing it?
Yeah, Chris, is Sabrina there as well?
Yes, I'm here.
She is.
Oh, hi, good morning.
Good morning.
Tom, are you able to pick up the phone? Because there's a little bit of an echo.
Okay, how about that?
That's
good.
so good. Wow. Okay. So go ahead.
Okay, yeah, I filed another writ of mandamus yesterday to get disclosure of certain documents from the Attorney General's office. What we did prior to that, of course, was we filed a Freedom of Information Act request, and they responded by saying, no, we're basically not going to turn over anything. So, once again, had to go to court. It's a little discouraging, of course. I mean, these documents are clearly disclosable. I don't understand why they don't want to turn them over. Well, of course they don't want to turn them over. They're probably afraid there might be something embarrassing in there. But nevertheless, you know, the law is the law.
All right. Can you take us through what exactly you were requesting?
Yeah, it was two requests from March forward. Communication between the Office of the Attorney General and the Office of the Governor concerning anything concerning pay for Government of Guam employees. And then the second body of request was for essentially communication within the Office of the Attorney General on social media platforms such as Facebook and WhatsApp concerning government pay or pay for government employees. So we asked for those two species of documents, and they've basically given us nothing.
So
Not even a reason?
Yeah, they gave us a reason. They cited, I think, four separate reasons for it: attorney-client work privilege, something called the deliberative process privilege, which doesn't exist on Guam. They also said that these documents can't be turned over because they are the subject or involved in somehow litigation. They're referring to our earlier suit for double pay, and that doesn't, none of their exceptions work, particularly that last one. You know, the AG's office has to be a party to the litigation in order to hold the documents, and they're not a party, they're merely representing a party. So we went to court and hoping we'll hear this pretty soon. It's another writ of mandamus against Levin Camacho, telling them to turn the documents over.
Tom, you know, I tried FOIAing WhatsApp communications before, and I don't think I got them. Do you think that those are something that the media and the public should be able to view, the WhatsApp messages of elected and non-elected public employees?
The media, all the people on Guam should be able to view public records. And if Attorney A is discussing an issue with Attorney B, and it's an issue that embraces the public's business, it's a public record, it has to be turned over. So the FOIA process goes not so much to the agency, but to the record. If it's a public record, it's disclosable. It doesn't really matter if you sent the public record. And when I say public record, I mean communications as well. Because
right.
if I'm talking about the exercise of my duties as an agency head on WhatsApp, well, that's a public record and it's disclosable. But then, and we're not looking for communications about, picking up a kid after school or whatever.
Right.
We're not interested in that, and that's not a public record. But if employees of the government of Guam are so, I guess, cavalier and careless that they will communicate on these sorts of platforms, they have to realize that they're running a risk. They might have to turn it over.
Yeah, that's very, very interesting. And I think that, I don't know if it was intentional or unintentional on your part, but I think the media should pay attention to this, because you're right. And I've FOIA'd a million emails, and to me it's very clear that a lot of the people in the government, especially, unclassified political hires and all that stuff, I think they use WhatsApp as their preferred method of communication because they think it doesn't leave a trail. You know what I mean? So I'm pretty sure there's like a cabinet members chat that I would just love to FOIA that, because that would just be, oh my God, how juicy would that be? So I'm going to try that out.
Let's generate FOIA today. Seriously, these are public records. Who are these individuals who think that they can hide the public's business from the public? It's just breathtaking. But I'm fully on board with that. I believe that the Attorney General's office.
Hold on, Tom. Can you hear the sound of every government and Guam director and deputy director clearing their WhatsApp chats? I'm pretty sure they just put something in the clear the chat, everybody.
Oh my gosh! You mean to tell me you think that government officials are destroying public documents like that?
Guaranteed they are.
Well, it's kind of a dilemma. I think it's called the prisoner's dilemma, so to speak. If I'm in a WhatsApp group and I'm afraid that something's going to be subject to FOIA or otherwise discovered, and then I think, well, I'm just going to go ahead and delete this off my phone. Okay, good. That you don't know if your correspondent deleted it. And if they turn it over and you don't have it, well, there's evidence that you committed a crime. So, sometimes you make your bed, you got to sleep in it, right?
But how confident are you that you'll succeed? Considering, I remember there was an oversight hearing with the governor's office. It was all about the quarantine procurement, and you had the AG's office, or the representative from the AG's office, arguing attorney-client privilege and couldn't provide any information on procurement and communications.
Yeah, I think that was a bit of an overreach by the Office of the Attorney General. I think they were scrambling; they didn't want to turn it over. Your original question is, I think, is how confident am I that the court will side with us on this? I'm an optimist. I believe that ultimately, the law will out. I think that we will get those documents.
And this isn't your first time. I want to say that. No. Wasn't it during when you represented the former lieutenant governor, and you had requested information from the Guam Police Department, and you had to take it to court?
Yeah.
Yes, I did. Had to take it to court, and we prevailed there, and we got them ordered to disclose certain documents. I was kind of disappointed with the outcome in that, though, because one of the things we were looking for was the use of force protocol. I want to see when GPD thinks it's appropriate to smack me in the head with a baton, and their response was, no, we can't turn it over because it might, impede the progress of certain investigations or something like that, which, I felt at the time was nonsensical, but we had other fish to fry, of course. And particularly considering the atmosphere in the last 3 months, I would like to see the use of force protocol.
Yeah, it's definitely relevant now.
Yeah, I wonder if the Attorney General is going to request that and perhaps disclose that to all of us. That seems clearly within his wheelhouse. Let's see it. Let's have a discussion.
Tom, is there a timeline that you're anticipating with this latest filing?
There's no firm timeline. It's writs of mandamus are kind of put at the head of the line.
Okay.
And of course, the courthouse right now is in flux because of the COVID thing. So there's no firm timeline. But my experience with these FOIA requests is they're heard pretty quickly. I did one years ago. Did one for then Senator Dennis Rodriguez, and did one for Ken Leon Guerrero recently. One for myself, and then this one. They're, like I say, they're generally put at the head of the line, but I don't have a date or a day for you.
Can we get any? There isn't an update with your double pay appeal to the Supreme Court, right?
We haven't heard back from the Supreme Court. Typically, what happens is you file your notice of appeal, and then the Supreme Court says we're going to dismiss your appeal unless you file the following 3 documents. And of course, we'll do that, and then we're probably going to ask for an expedited briefing schedule. I saw in the newspaper, I believe I saw it in the newspaper, that the governor's thinking about extending the emergency for another month.
Right.
Well, that has its own set of issues.
It does, yeah, because I think they've suspended the open government law too. So.
Yeah. How about that?
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah, they won't turn over documents. They suspend the open government law. They won't pay government Guam employees the money they promised to pay them. I don't know. I guess, people are in a state of flux, I suppose, over this COVID thing, but we need to right the ship. We have to obey the laws.
Good point, Tom. Good point
Yeah.
there. And, keep us posted. It's always good to have you on. Appreciate
Will do.
it. Yeah.
Thank you
All
very
right,
much. You
thanks.
guys have a good, yeah, you guys have a good morning.
You too.
You
Wash
too.
your hands, Tom.
All right. Will
Okay,
do.
bye.
Bye-bye.
9:10. Good morning on you.
That's a. You know, we've actually received copies of email communications. I mean, that's how we found out a
About
lot of
the-
information about the quarantine.
procurement, yeah. So yeah, I mean, typically, of course, you FOIA, Freedom of Information Act request emails, but WhatsApp messages. I know that I think I sent a FOIA for WhatsApp messages maybe last year, and they didn't. They said there were no documents responsive to it, so maybe it's. And again, with the FOIA, it's just so tricky, right? I mean, we want our government to be transparent, but
But you got to ask the question in
in
a certain way.
like basically, you got to be a freaking lawyer.
Right.
You know what I mean? I mean, that's basically what it is. Like, if you don't ask, and that's what, to me, what gets me is, yeah, Jay.
Okay. Well, go ahead. If you can finish your point, then I
Oh,
want
and
to
then
ask
you're
you
going to do your
something.
tangent.
No. This
Oh,
is
okay.
germane to what we're
Oh,
talking about.